Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Noah Unleashed. If you're new here, hi, I'm Melball and I like watching Japanese wrestling. And this is Noah Unleashed, a weekly episodic show where I talk about all the news and reviews happening in pro wrestling Noah in Japan. If you're not new here, welcome back to the glorious, glorious chaos that is me, Melball. It has been a chaotic week here at OLE. I've been trying my best to get the content out. You're going to be seeing a lot of me over the next couple of days. I just released the Sunny Voyage show yesterday. We're releasing this show today. We're releasing an N1 pre-show on Saturday. Plus, there's another Sunny Voyage show from the 27th I got to get out here. But before we get into the show that I'm talking about today, which is the Mohammad Yone 30th anniversary special, I need you guys to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you'll be alerted every time we drop a new video. So without further ado, let's get into the show today. So this show is going to be about the 30th anniversary Mohammad Yone's debut disco ball. There's a disco ball hanging above the ring, and we opened up the show just in true Yone special, which also happens to be my special with K-pop or J-pop. In this situation, a sweet little band opened up the show with a couple songs. The first song being, what was it called? Oh, I didn't write down what the song was called, but it was by Neon featuring Naoto and Ryuichi. And then their second song was called Music and Courage. I adored seeing them in there with the choreography, getting the crowd fired up, wearing very similar but different outfits. It was adorable. I loved it. So from here, we led into match number one, which was a tag team match featuring Ikuto Hidaka. Let me try that again. Ikuto Hidaka and AMAKUSA taking on the team of HAYATA and Daiki Odashima. So HAYATA and Hidaka having fun at the start here, reversing and locking in moves, keeping the pace fairly slow, hitting in moves on each other, and HAYATA hitting a double stomp to the back. Incoming Odashima Gush of the Week. I cannot gush about Odashima enough. He is so good. I don't know what it is about the Japanese training. Well, I maybe do, but I'm not. That's too much detail to go into in a Noah Unleashed video. The training there is just insane. To think that Owada-san just went on his excursion, and that when he comes back, he'll finally be kind of considered more of a full-fledged member. And to think how good he was before he left. Odashima is the exact same. So good, so talented, so fast, so strong, and so charismatic with like an almost effortless charisma, if that makes sense. The crowd gets onto him very, very quickly, very easily, and all he does is exist. It's very incredible to watch. So yeah, Odashima coming in hot against AMAKUSA, hitting a Rana and then a dropkick combo with the head kip up, and then HAYATA comes in, grabs him by the waist, backflips him over into a splash for two. AMAKUSA reversing the double team of HAYATA and Odashima with the cartwheel through the arms, and then locking the hand of Odashima, running up the ropes and hitting HAYATA with a Rana and just arm dragging Odashima over. And second gush of the night, AMAKUSA. AMAKUSA is so good. So fast. I would say arguably the fastest junior that they have in pro wrestling, Noah. I'd almost say I don't really. The only person who I could compare the speed to is Koze Fujita in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But if you guys have any comparable quick juniors, let me know down below, because I don't even think Ishimori could keep up with AMAKUSA. So, going from here, Frankensteiner from AMAKUSA on HAYATA, gotta love that. Odashima with his signature gut wrench suplexes, just He's so good, so strong. Hidaka reversing the double team, sending Hayata into Odashima, then hitting Hayata with a tornado DDT off of a drop kick to Odashima, followed by a Mosca hitting a tope suicide on the outside there. So the finish comes with Hidaka hitting the ropes and rolling Odashima into his signature knee bar. Looks really, really fanciful, really, really cool. Submitting Odashima for the opening win. What a way to pop off this show. First, you give me live music, then you give me this just incredible high speed, high energy, let's get this party started kind of match. Just what a way to start off this show. So from here, we're going to go to match number 2. I had a good chuckle with this match. So this match is the Reeve presents the Yone family 300,000 yen meal voucher battle royale for Yoneya, which is Yone's family restaurant. I will leave a picture up here, and maybe I'll put the address for anyone potentially going to Japan. If you want to check out Mohammed Yone's restaurant, here is the address, and I will also add it in the description box below. So, this match featured Galeno, Takashi Sugiura, Daiki Inaba, Harutoki, Junta Miyawaki, Yuto Kikuchi, Super Crazy, Black Mensore, and Leave Mask X. First of all, very happy to see Kikuchi back. Always nice to see Kikuchi getting into the ring, especially with his Jonan brother, Daiki Inaba. Let's freaking go. So, start off, everybody getting after Galeno, which is fair, biggest man in that group. But Galeno cleaning house of everyone. Meanwhile, Sugiura just vulturing in the corner, just watching everything unfold as the Godfather does. The crowd chanting for Mensore, but Mensore just trying not to get the attention of everyone else in the ring. Meanwhile, Galeno shakes hands and proceeds to with Harutoki, and then proceeds to go after Harutoki because they might be brothers, they might be faction members, they might be brothers from another mother. That's what I meant to say. But when there is food at stake, I understand. Mensore ducking Galeno, but Galeno rolls him up and Mensore ducks Galeno and rolls up Galeno. Everyone piles on top, and the first elimination is the GHC National Champion Galeno. Technically via Black Mensore. It's unfortunate. Kikuchi making an interesting life choice, running up and hitting the still nesting Sugiura with a Frankensteiner off the top rope. Followed by a drop kick. I was afraid for Kikuchi's life at this point. Super Crazy hitting everybody with arm drags until he gets to Sugiura, and Sugiura hits him with an Olympic slam and eliminates Super Crazy. Mensore trying the rope walk, but Sugiura kicks him off and then goes to toss Mensore, but Mensore goes in between the top and middle rope instead of over the top, so unfortunately he cannot be eliminated. Sugiura, however, says F this shit, steps over the top rope and proceeds to beat the shit out of Mensore on the outside, which, again, technically didn't eliminate Mensore, and that's importante to remember. Kikuchi and Inaba unloading on the remaining people in the ring and in the corner, hitting that corner assisted Jonetsu spear that Inaba does. Inaba drags Harutoki to the apron, and then after a scuffle, Kikuchi makes the save, drop kicking Harutoki off of the apron, eliminating him. However, in their excitement and celebration, when Kikuchi goes to high five Inaba, he accidentally uses such force that he shoves Inaba off the apron. And what have I been telling you guys? Kikuchi has so much strength, so much power. He doesn't know. He doesn't know. Fear the day he figures it out. Fear that day. In the meantime, Miyawaki pops up Kikuchi over the top rope, and when Kikuchi tries to springboard back in, Miyawaki anticipates this, drop kicks him, and Kikuchi is then eliminated. So the final three are Miyawaki, Black Mensore, and Leave Max X. Mask? Yeah, Leave Max Mask. Why do I keep saying Max? Leave Mask X. Mensore on the apron taking hit after hit after hit from X and Miyawaki, but Mensore pulls the rope, sending Leave Mask X to the outside, eliminating him. So Mensore trips on the bottom rope, coming in for a Zaw strike, and Miyawaki is able to kind of capitalize that. And get a roll up for 2 on that. So the finish comes with Black Mensore going for that Zaw strike again. Miyawaki reverses it, follows up with a German suplex hold for the win and the meal. I can't remember if that's called his Sunset Drive or not. I have to check that out. I feel like it's not. But it was a German suplex hold. He gets the food. He gets the win. Mensore to kind of yoink it a little bit throughout the celebration afterwards. Miyawaki not letting him, though I'm sure that as friends, Junta will treat his good friend Mensore to a meal there at Yone's restaurant. So, from here, we're going to go match number 3. It was really hard for me to keep my notes down on the rest of the matches because the semi-main and main event were the matches you want to hear the most about. So, match number 3 here. This was a 3-way tag team match that featured the team of Los Copiadores, the Box Office Brothers, Dragon Bane, and Alpha Wolf taking on the team of Eita and Shuji Kondo, as well as All Rebellions, Kai Fujimura, and Alejandro. So what I like about these multi-tag team matches is that one member of each team is in there. It's not just 2 people in there and the third team is just kind of waiting there with their thumb up their bum for someone to accidentally tag them, because who voluntarily tags, unless you're getting your ass beat, who voluntarily tags to the other team, right? So I do like this rule, and it kind of comes with some fun little moments in this match. So let's get into it. So white gear, just random point. White gear on Alpha Wolf. So good. So good. I love it. It definitely, with the darker skin tone that he has, offsets it so nice. The accenting along the mouth also. Very nice. Would not like an up close and personal view of it though. So there's so much happening just in the first 30 seconds of this. I was just sitting there like, wee, this is great. Dragon Bane reversing pretty much everything that is thrown at him, because he is definitely the target in this, for sure, being the champion. Alpha Wolf nom-nomming as nom-nomming he does on Kondo, on Alejandro, and eventually Eita. But Eita is a familiar meat. I feel like Alejandro is a rare meat that he doesn't get to try very often. Los Copiadores grabbing Alejandro after the Tiger Fang kick, sending him over with a double arm drag, the head spring kip-ups, and the pair of low-angle kicks, where Eita runs in and tries to pin Alejandro while their backs were turned. It was really funny to me. At that point, All Rebellion does their forearm cartwheel, thrust kick, double team, and then Alpha Wolf, as mentioned, proceeds to nom nom on the familiar meat of Eita. Alejandro going for a strike, but Dragon Bane drops down and kips right back up. As Kevin Kelly once said, it's not fair. So talented. and then hits a thrust kick on Alejandro. Alpha Wolf comes in with a drop kick and goes for, wow. I don't know what I was writing here. Oh, goes into the center. I forgot a few letters. Goes into the center and then launches Dragon Bane into that like catapult cannonball that they do into the corner. And I love me a good cannonball. The finish comes with Alejandro hitting a wheelbarrow victory roll on the champion Dragon Bane for the win. And then post match, Alejandro gets on the mic and says that him and Fujimura are laying down the challenge. They want a shot at the GHC Junior Tag Team Championships, and they are getting it. September 23rd, they are going to be challenging Box Office Brothers for those titles. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that is the last night of the N1 victory as well. So we're going to be having a big night on the 23rd. And if you are in my area, which is the Mountain Standard Time kind of area, we're getting an early show for the N1 Victory Finals. We are getting it at my time. It's going to be 8:30 on a Tuesday evening, which is phenomenal for me because I'm used to getting up between midnight and 4 a.m. to watch these shows live regularly. So from here, we're going to go into match number 4, which was a tag team match. It was Team 2000X, the combination of Ozawa and Masa Kitamiya with Yoshitatsu versus Keno and Shuhei Taniguchi. Now, as mentioned on commentary, this was an odd pairing, Keno and Taniguchi, especially after that last kind of three-way match where it was Taniguchi, Mensore, and Keno. It very much seemed like Keno, or not, it was a three-way, it was a six-man tag where Keno was teamed with Taniguchi and Mensore. Yeah, he didn't really want anything to do with them. However, Taniguchi did pretty good in this match, kind of doing his best to kind of protect his team and his teammate. So let's get into it. Ozawa jumping a root Keno at the beginning of the match. Ozawa just trying to do his intro. Keno's like in his face, like, meh, 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 look at my picture. And getting jumped and beaten down for a little bit, and Ozawa was wearing his jacket the whole time. Ozawa then takes a little picture that he was like wong in his face and like eats it, shoves it right on in his mouth, and continues to wrestle with it in his in his mouth. Oh my god. He hits a swanton bomb and then a springboard moonsault before grabbing Keno in the cravat nuzzle thing that he always does, then spitting out the picture and rubbing it all over Keno's face. Keno trying to fight back. Keno also did get the picture and get Ozawa down and kind of rub it in his face as well. Yeah, good times. Keno trying to fight back against Kitamiya. And Kitamiya literally just ha 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 ha, just more menacingly and manly. And then just drops Keno with a shoulder block. Okay, so the finish. This whole kind of thing. The finish is a very long finish, but a good finish for this match. So Kitamiya hits Taniguchi with a pile driver, and then Keno comes in for the save. Keno strikes Kitamiya, but Ozawa comes in with a missile drop kick from the heavens, and then a tope con hilo. And the finish comes with Kitamiya locking in that strangle hold, that full Nelson with the leg, on Taniguchi for the win. This was a fun match. It really kind of shows the animosity going on between Ozawa and Keno. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what happens in the N1, because if I'm not mistaken, I believe these two are in different blocks. Um, let's see here. Keno is in. Oh no, they're in the same block. They're in block B. So I'm now kind of really excited about this. What does that mean? What's going to happen when these two get together in the N1 and finally get one-on-one, hypothetically speaking? Because I feel like Tatsu will still be at ringside, which kind of unevens the numbers. That kind of turns it into a 1.5 versus 1. You know what I mean? So from here, we're going to go to match number 5, and this is the N1 Victory A Block 6-man scramble match. And this is another 6-man tag team match that features the team of Kenta, Manabu Soya, and Kazuyuki Fujita taking on the team of Kaito Kiyomiya, Tetsuya Endo, and Daga. I found out some of the names, you guys. I found out some of the names. Thank goodness for commentary, specifically thank goodness for Stu, because like he was the one saying all of them and giving me the Japanese names. So hats off to you, Stu. Thank you. Fujita is the beast, but it's Iachu in Japanese. Manabu is the Jonista Boucho, the passion captain. Kaito is the golden prince, as we know. Daga, the king of beasts. So I'm getting the names slowly but surely. I'm getting the names. And again, thank you, Stu. The beginning here, though, Daga yeeting the signed shirt of Kenta into the crowd, kind of gaining the ire of the other team right away. Maybe not a good idea. Poking the bear. But what was even funnier is Kazuyuki Fujita brings out his, I believe it's a Genki drink, which is like an energy drink, little bottles. While they are drinking it, Manabu gets so excited. He gets so excited. He Jonitsu's on Kenta's back, and Kenta, instead of swallowing, spits. And he spits the entire drink into Fujita's face, which is not a great way to start off your match. And they, of course, begin arguing. Soya then gets into Fujita's face and in Soya fashion is like, Jonitsu, be calm down. It's like, the situation was worse, and Soya made it worser and worser and worser. Meanwhile, oddly enough, Daga, Endo, and Kiyomiya just sitting there in the corner, like, oh, yeah, just laughing it up. Daga. Oh, it was a little baffling. So Daga asking for the handshake from Fujita, and then going for the eye rake right away. Endo also going for the handshake. This one successful. Go team. Kiyomiya and Daga double teaming on Soya, whipping him into the ropes where Kiyomiya does a drop toe grab, low angle kick from Daga, and then a flashing elbow drop from Kiyomiya. But Daga on the ref on the way back to the corner, breaking a count, and commentary speculated, very interesting. It maybe was a mistake, but it might also have been that Daga didn't want anybody other than him picking up a win for his team. Use that information for what you will. So at one point, Soya tags in Fujita by chopping his chest, and we didn't see it, but we definitely heard it, and it was confirmed on commentary. What happened there? Brief moment of tension is kind of shown between Fujita and Soya at this point before Fujita going in and locking a chin lock in on Kiyomiya. So Endo Annan takes out Fujita, and then Kenta with a handspring kick. And then he hits a Frankensteiner and an Endo special on Soya. So Endo stops himself on the rope and doesn't notice Daga did like a blind tag on him before hitting a handspring kick and being dragged off his pin by Daga. And then when he drags Daga off, the ref gives him shit. Like, what are you doing? You're not legal anymore. He tagged in. Endo's confused. Daga's laughing, and you see that immediate change in personality where he's like, "Out, out, 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 out!" Ha, 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 ha. I love the Latino sass that we're getting out of Daga right now. It's so enjoyable. So from here, Daga hitting a brainbuster on Soya. Holy shit, that was good. Kiyomiya shoving Kenta into Fujita on the apron, and then Kenta reversing Kiyomiya into Fujita, who is still on the apron. I'm seeing forebodingness at this point. Kenta really having to will his team in to help him because he spent a lot of the time accidentally hitting them. Kenta runs in, Soya runs in on the corner, but Kiyomiya is able to elbow Fujita on his attempt. And then Kenta accidentally boots Fujita in the face when he's holding Kiyomiya. When Kenta grabs Kiyomiya to hold him for Soya to do a lariat, both of them duck. And the lariat ends up connecting with Fujita, and he's done. He's done like dinner. He's done. He's done. He's mad. He's just everyone gets beat up at this point. Everyone on his own team. The other team is kind of left alone. He double lariats Soya and Kenta. He stomps on them for a bit, just yelling at him, and then he leaves. Meanwhile, Kiyomiya's like crawling back into the corner, like pointing at it, like, what's going on? Again, he was left alone in this. Fujita was just done with his team. So from here, again, the finish, a little long, very strung together, but bear with me, guys, we'll get through it. Okay, the finish. Kiyomiya going for what I think was going to be a jumping knee on Kenta, but Soya comes in from behind him and lariats the crap out of him. Endo then hits a thrust kick, followed by a double thrust kick from Endo and Daga on Soya. And then Daga thrust kicks Endo. I didn't understand at that point. But then Daga eats a lariat from Kenta, and then hitting the Bisaiko knee to Kiyomiya for 2, only to follow up with a GTS attempt that Kiyomiya reverses into an inside cradle. And Kiyomiya gets the win over the GHC heavyweight champion. Interesting. Interesting way to kind of end this match. Now, post-match was even more interesting. Because post-match, Kiyomiya starts mocking Kenta. Of all things to do in that moment, we know that Kenta can hit a promo when he wants to, and he's not afraid to say what he wants. So, Kiyomiya mocking Kenta a bit, both exchanging words with Kiyomiya, very obviously trying to get into the head of the champion, and the champion just going, yeah, and what of it? What are you going to do about it? You could tell this frustrated Kiyomiya a little bit. I think he's used to having something workable to banter back with. He's not used to having someone say, yeah, you know what? I made a mistake. I'm still the champion. And he struggled a little bit, and once he did start talking to the crowd again, talking about how he's going to win the N1, he's going to win that title back. This hasn't been his year, but with the crowd support, he'll get there. The crowd notably a little quiet during this promo. What I love about Kiyomiya is that he is emotional, and sometimes that works really, really well for him, and other times it's very much to his detriment. So I'm curious to see how his N1 goes this year. And maybe tune in on Saturday morning to my N1 pre show to see if I think that Kiyomiya is going to be keeping his word and meeting Kenta at the end of this tournament. So from here, we're going to go into match 6, which is a singles match between Hajime Ohara with Hiruki versus Tadasuke with Yoshitatsu. Commentary making the comment that the chair is intellectually superior to Tatsu. And the amount that I cackled, I had to pause the video. I was a gooder. Anyway, Ohara really taking it to Tadasuke, throwing strikes, locking him in multiple submissions, holds everything, the whole shabudo right at the beginning there. Tatsu grabbing the feet and pulling Ohara out to the outside. Tadasuke tossing him into the barricades, knocking him around a bit, knocking fans out of their seats. And Tadasuke bringing in the chair, a little foreboding. I don't recall it really being ever used though. Tadasuke mocking the crowd, cheering for Ohara. It added a level of hilariousness and a little bit of intimidation, a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Narcissism keeps popping into my head, but that's not what it is. It's very cocky, I think is the better word for it there. So mocking the crowd for cheering Ohara and then keeping Ohara grounded as much as possible because once Ohara gets some speed, he can be very, very dangerous. So shotgun dropkick by Ohara on Tadasuke, followed by a forearm in the corner and a pump handle backbreaker. Ohara then hit a side Russian leg sweep, transitioning into the tres pleurs, but Tadasuke makes it to the ropes. Tilt-a-whirl backbreaker by Ohara on Tadasuke, followed by a drop kick to Tatsu, who decided to hop onto the apron at that point, and then followed by 2 more backbreakers and a spinning power slam. Ohara locking in the muy bien, but Tadasuke grabs the eyes when he tries to trap the arm. Tatsu gets onto the apron and distracts the ref, allowing Tadasuke to shove Ohara into the ref, hitting him in the Oharas and following up with a lariat. So the finish here comes with Tadasuke hitting a package pile driver on Ohara for the win. That pile driver looked nasty. He held it a good bit. It's unfortunate Ohara couldn't pick up that win, but let me tell you, it doesn't slow his momentum for me at all. He's been doing very, very well. He's been showcasing himself a lot. He's been advertising a lot. He's putting himself out there. He's making a lot of noise. It's only a matter of time before he starts seeing some different results in this. But the numbers game always seems to be an issue. And where Tatsu is, Tatsu does. And usually that means not great things for the people on the other team. So from here, we're gonna move into the main event. I'm so excited. So the main event, match number 7, is Mohammed Yone's 30th anniversary match featuring Mohammed Yone, Naomichi Marufuji, and Daisuke Ikeda taking on Go Shiozaki, Shuji Ishikawa, and Atsushi Katoke. This was so good. This was so good. Okay, so we get an awesome promo video beforehand of Yone recounting his career. You see pictures of him going from no hair to all the hair. It's incredible to think that he's been going for 30 years in this business and he's still very much going. Like he has no problems walking. He beat the crap out of people in this match. It was phenomenal. And 53 years old. Incredible. So let's get into it, you guys. Okay, so Mensore scrambling with the streamers at the beginning because streamers were allowed in this and I loved it. So on commentary, they said also this is Yone's 2,590th match. 2590. That is incredible. 30-year career, and he's only signed in Noah in 2002. 2002. Insane to think about. That was the year I graduated high school. He was already a decade into his career when I graduated high school. Oh, I'm just having some mind explosions. Okay, focus. Focus. Okay, Yone. Absorbing the chops from Shiozaki, but Yone answers with a massive forearm. So many chops. So many chops. Yone's chest bright red, and he's usually a nice dark gray, dark brown tanned tone. To be able to see that shade of red, you have to be very, very red. So, Kotoge and Ikeda really getting into it, popping up the speed in this. Ikeda sending Kotoge to the outside and booting him in the barricades. Marufuji demanding Big Shoe and instantly regretting his life choice. Marufuji chopping Ishikawa, and it's not even registering. I feel like it would be like a fly, just simply flying into the man's chest, acting more like an inconvenience than anything. At this point, Marufuji goes to the corner and asks Yone to come in because he knows he's not going to get this guy to move. Ishikawa and Yone slamming into each other until Ishikawa drops Yone with a shoulder tackle. So Shiozaki smacking the afro. How rude. Of Mohammed Yone, then feeding machine gun chops to Yone in the corner, reddening that chest even more, but Yone answers with some staggering strikes of his own. So there's a flying body splash by Kotoge on Yone. Ishikawa and Yone exchange strikes, which is absolutely monstrous, especially when Yone locks in and gets into that beast mode. Done. Running headbutt by Ikeda on Ishikawa. This is where I was like, please stop. I'm not a headbutt fan. There's so many other things we can do but headbutts. Ikeda just kept going on with them. The third one busts him. I believe it was underneath the left eyebrow. Started bleeding all over the place. And he just kept going with headbutts. Didn't deter him at all. Marufuji and Shiozaki with the chop exchange. So loud. So clappy. Love it. Yone and against Kotoge, and Yone not giving a reaction or anything. He is locked in, hits a lariat in the corner, and then the pose with Kotoge in between. Hits a corner. Let's try saying that again, Melball. He hits lariats in the corner on Kotoge and then does poses in between. Kotoge hitting his that choke that he does, leg choke on the ropes, and then his Maxim cutter for 2. Kotoge, Ishikawa, and Shiozaki triple teaming Yone, but Yone has an explosive comeback. Team Yone running the triple team on Kotoge. So the finish comes, you guys, with Mohammed Yone putting Kotoge up in the corner and hitting that Kiniku Buster, which is that muscle buster, for the win. Dun, 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 dun. Just thinking about the song makes me happy. It's so awesome to see the whole crowd just happy, excited, celebrating Yone, celebrating his career. Post-match, Yone, has some words of thanks for the crowd. And Fujiwara comes out to joke with his former trainee, his mentor. I love that he came out and had words for him. I love that he came out and shared a story with the crowd. I love that he gave him flowers. It warms my little black heart to see everyone supporting each other. Just so cute. So that brings us to the end of the video, you guys. What did you guys think? Did you guys have an opportunity to check out this show? If you haven't, I highly recommend. The main event was just so good, minus the headbutts, so good. But then the the continued character development of the other characters and the other wrestlers throughout the rest of the show, Team 2000X, seeing the combination of Hayata and Odashima, seeing Kai Fujimura and Alejandro laying down that challenge for Los Golpeadores. It's just so good. This was a great show. I wish that I saw it live, but I was just too tired. So, that all being said, guys, hope you enjoyed the show. If you're make sure you like the video, subscribe to OLE, and turn on notifications to be alerted every time we drop a new video. Make sure you also follow us on all of our social media so you can get any sneak peeks there on what's coming up or what is already out. You can also follow Pro Wrestling Noah's socials while you're at it, and I will leave a link to their YouTube channels, both the English and Japanese one, down below. There is more content on the Japanese one than the English one, but hopefully we can get them to change that very soon. But do you really need to hear the cursings of Kaido Kiyomiya when you're watching him eat a spicy noodle bowl? No. No, we just need to see the tears. I will also leave a link for Wrestle Universe down below if you're wanting to check out Pro Wrestling Noah. It is 1,298 yen, or approximately 13 Canadian. Not only do you get access to Pro Wrestling Noah, you get access to DDT, Marigold, Tokyo Joshi Pro, and so many more. You want to check that out. Such a great price. You can see everything that I talked about today. You can see Utami Hayashishita and Mayumi Watani on Marigold. Ooh, I give Ed shit for that all the time. Marigold. And Mika Iwata and Iroha, the GHC Women's Champion on Tokyo Joshi Pro. So yeah, go check that out, you guys. Again, link is in the description box below. If you want a daily dose of Melball, you can find me on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can find me on everything else: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook Mastodon. Nope, it's Blue Sky Mastodon at Melball Collins. Whew, that's a tongue twister. It is hot in here, you guys. I gotta get out of here. I am your Melball. Matane!